Good morning, Di here from Your Voice Matters TV with Di Riddell. Welcome to episode 22, where I'm going to be talking about completing circles. You see to my left the interlocking circles, which are part of my branding on my new website. Now, this wasn't intentional. It evolved. It was presented to me as part of my new website, and it was just lovely. I loved it. Now I've got to then thinking about the circles in our lives and the completion of the circles in our lives. There comes a time when we're ready to bring one all together, and that has happened for me in just recently. For those of you who don't know me, I gave up 2 babies for adoption in the 1960s. And that was forced adoption. It was just how life was. That's how society was. We can't rattle and rail about it today because we can't put today's values on yesterday's actions. That's how society was in the 60s. And it's different today in 2021. But I'm looking to put it right. I'm looking to complete my circle. So you may have heard me say, I gave up 2 babies for adoption in the 1960s. In 2018, when the second edition of my book, Beyond Abuse, went live on Amazon, it was like something went off in my head and I thought, I'm ready to search. So I set to. And in 2 short months, I had found and met my daughter. The daughter that I thought I would never see, hear, or touch. Can you imagine what a magical moment that was for both of us? She was 10 days shy of 50 the day we met. I've spent that time since 2018 just assimilating the fact I had found my daughter, building a relationship with her, finding my way. And I thought, I will search for my son. It will happen. But I'm not ready right now. Over the last few months, it's been rumbling around in my head. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then suddenly, a couple of weeks ago, bingo. There goes those flashes in my head, and I thought I'm ready. So I got on to Post Adoption Support Queensland immediately before it could slip by. And we began the process of tracing and finding. In 2 weeks, they had found one person in Australia with his full name. And he lives in North Queensland. And I know that he was adopted by a couple in Cairns. The excitement when they rang me last Friday to tell me that there was one person and that they were going to start sending out the letters and start the process. Like I'm almost speechless. Isn't it amazing? And it was all this nervous energy was tied up inside me, and it didn't have anywhere to go. I couldn't release it. It was like, oh, I made a dozen phone calls to people who are close to me just to bring them up to speed, and they could hear the joy. They could hear the excitement in my life. They could hear the excitement in my voice, I meant. They knew just by listening to me that something had flipped, something had changed. Now, I don't know what the outcome will be. This is definitely step 1. My son has to say that he wants contact before anything else can happen. So we're in the process, we're looking at it, and I am over the moon because I just feel I'm ready. The time has come for me to close that circle. And whatever the outcome is, and I have to be prepared that it might not be a positive. Whatever the outcome is, I'm in a strong enough emotional state to handle that. And again, whatever happens, it will complete that circle for me of that part of my life. I have done my forgiveness, I've written, I have talked, I've talked to the universe, I've opened myself up, and I believe it was when I did that, when I became the woman who could handle it, when I became the woman who it was okay to search, when I became that woman who was empowered to the point of being ready to speak out from a positive, loving mindset. So that's where I am today, where I'm just looking at that and seeing where it can go. So I'm really, really excited. So that's my show for today. It's completing circles and just seeing where else my life leads. I don't know who knows what will be out there. But what an exciting opportunity, what a God-given opportunity I have received to be able to do that. I'm beyond myself with excitement. So if you want to hear any more about my adoption story, you can go to my website, diradell.com, and under the About, my adoption story is filed in there. Because it's a new website, I'm not sure whether the media has been added, but there are also a selection of adoption videos. Because, you know, adoption affects much more than the mother and the baby. It affects the immediate family, the extended family, and every circle that that girl is in during that period. And depending on how the result of that adoption affects her, it can affect her for decades. And for me, it affected me for decades until I had done the personal development work. So I had grown into the woman who is ready to receive. I was going to say worthy, but we are always worthy, but I didn't realize I was worthy. But I'm ready. I'm that empowered, calm, confident woman who can reach out to the sun that I also never got to see, hear, or touch. So keep posted. So if you want to check out any more, you can go to my website or join my free Facebook group, Rising Speakers Community, because it's when we speak about things that are important to us that we make a difference. Till next week, cheerio.